What's up YouTube? We're back. We're watching another JonTron video. This time we're going to be watching Takeshis challenge. Okay, I remember watching this show when I was really young. In the UK, I believe it was called Takeshis Castle here in the UK, and this show was like a Japanese version of like Ninja Warrior, I think it's called. Okay, but it was like re-commentated over by a British guy. I remember watching this a lot as a kid. Classic YouTube intro. Do. JonTron. Bro, these classic intro cards are so cool.
Throughout history, mankind has faced
Like it was naked,
wide, building the Great Wall of China, combating worldwide plagues, and even escaping our own atmosphere to brave the perilous journey to the infinite.
But there are some challenges that were just never meant to be faced. Some peaks too monumental, some chasms too great. There's bravery, and then there's just plain stupidity. But mankind doesn't get anywhere by playing it smart. Some of us have to be the guinea pigs, do the work no one else wants to. And that's why I'm going where no man has ever gone before and come back to tell the tale.
Mission briefing. Subject, Takeshi Kitano, otherwise known as Beat Takeshi. Japanese film director, comedian, singer, actor, author, screenwriter, poet.
Wait, I didn't realize
wasn't this guy?
Actual person.
One-time video game designer.
Yeah, you hear that? One time, because one time was all he needed.
After that,
made the best game ever, apparently.
Swallow the Caribbean. Earthquakes ravaged the west coast of America, and goblins were still really scary.
Ew, I don't like them. I don't like goblins.
Although being more comfortable with directing and acting, Beat Takeshi was never one to back down from a new art form. So when Taito Corporation asked him to lend his name to their new video game, instead of simply
there was a
saying
video
yes and
game?
taking the money, he chose to be directly involved with the creation of the game. He even starred in 2 Japanese commercials advertising the game.
Wait,
perplexingly enough,
I didn't realize this was a whole game. I thought this was going to be on the TV show.
Parts of the game.
And then this. Like Aphrodite rising from the sea foam of Uranus' severed ball sack. No, I'm serious. That's how it happened. Look it up. It's true. It's definitely true. Takeshi Kitano cut from the balls of Taito and released this to the masses. This is universally referred to as one of the worst ranking and hardest video games of all time. And it's only known as Takeshi's challenge. God help us all.
I learned something new today.
Fuck.
There it is. You're looking at the very same image 1,000 Japanese kids saw on Christmas morning 1986. Put your mind into theirs. Feel the pain. Feel the anger. And now first off, I just want to say there's a password guard in front of this password screen here, and you can just punch him and get a game over before you even play the game.
Game over?
You can.
There has to be a game first for it to be over. Maybe they're talking about the game of life.
The game opens up with you getting yelled at in your
That's
boss's
crazy.
office. Literally. You don't even get fired. It's not concrete. You're just being reprimanded for your mediocrity. Oh, yeah? You're gonna yell at me?
Be better,
This is a
bro.
video game. I can do what I want. Oh, Merry Christmas,
Oh,
Japan,
listen.
1986. Oh my God. Why would I try to escape real life by playing a game
Damn.
that's more depressing
Japan,
than real life? Am I
Japan,
supposed to feel good by
economy
comparison?
down, economy
Well,
down.
At the very least, I can say
Well,
this
the-
game was innovative.
no
for
smoking
its
in
time.
this.
It's open-ended and has
It's
heavy
innovated
real-life
by the fact that it
themes.
had no smoking signs in the 80s, bro. I was around 10 to 12 when they banned indoor smoking here in the UK. Because for a long time, places had to they could have a dedicated smoking corner, a section of the inside that was for smoking, and then a section that wasn't for smoking. That was what it was like when I was a kid. But around when I was 10 to 12 years old, they made a law where it was just there's no smoking inside, in public places, in restaurants and bars and stuff. You could only smoke outside.
Which most concurrent games had little of, if any. But perhaps it's a bit too open-ended. Where am I supposed to go? The bank?
What was it?
Culture
Line up
club?
of people's
Grilled
heads.
Mormon-
Wait, culture club just means.
Whoa, what's going on? I didn't
Grilled
know it was all right to eat
Mormons?
those guys. I better should check the Brobel. Make sure that's okay. already have no idea what to do. I guess
Boggled.
I'll do what I always do when I'm lost. Drink heavily. Lots of drinks. Way absolutely
Dude.
above the margin if necessary. Mom is
Damn.
scared.
Video games are not for kids, bro.
Huh. It's pitch black?
Wait.
Wait, where am I? Is this woman beating up on me? What's going on? My home.
Well, this explains quite a bit.
So you talk to your wife, and your options are food, a bath, let's go to bed.
This is
I
making
wanna
zero
travel,
sense, this game.
And I want a divorce. This is a video game from the 80s. Keep in mind, at this point, most games look like this, or this. They didn't usually have themes of domestic conflict in them. And they still don't, really. Let's give her the good old 1-2 divorce and see what happens. I mean, after all, she is violent. So you can pay alimony or... punch.
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 You know, whenever I find myself in this situation, I find that pay alimony works out far smoother in the long run. But there is
No, you should try
denying
punch.
that a
Try punch.
is a
Punch,
much
punch,
more
punch, punch,
satisfying
punch, punch,
short-term
punch,
solution.
punch.
Also, I'd just like to point out that there is a licensed Nintendo game with domestic violence in it. You can literally murder your wife and children. Literally murder your children. I think I need to repeat that. Literally murder your children.
Oopsie.
Walls could talk. They'd say really bad things about that
Oopsie.
guy.
Now this is the point where most people, like 99% of people, would do this.
Well,
Out of this house! Out of this house! Spirits be gone from this
oh,
house.
bro, I thought
this
that
isn't
was a
most
giant
people.
blunt, bro. But I thought it was a giant blunt, but I am also watching this on 420, so maybe that's just on my mind.
This is JonTron. To take on this challenge, I have to think like a salaryman, dress like one, be one.
Become the salary man.
Beat Takeshi at his own game, god damn it.
You are not gonna believe this. This game requires an insane amount of trial and error, more than any sane person would be expected to undertake. For starters, you're supposed to ignore your boss at the beginning of the game because you want to pick up the bonus he gives you later. So you go directly to the bank and close out your account to withdraw the 50,000 yen that are in there. Then you go to the local culture club and use the money to buy... shamisen lessons? Yeah, it sounds random, right? But you're supposed to
Sure.
do this because you actually have to start the game out by divorcing your wife. And when you do that, you have to pay her alimony. And that means that 75% of the money that you're holding on to at that given moment will go to her. And you need the money later or else you'll get stuck. You won't be able to beat the game. So basically, you're trying to give your wife as little money as possible. Man, who said chivalry's dead? The next steps are
the
entirely
fuck?
steps made of logic. Quit job. Take money out of the office plant. Learn to hang glide. All the while,
Learn to
managing
hang glide?
dodge Yakuza toughs that are trying to beat the shit out of you as you moonjump
Wait, what-
past.
what does this
And by the
game
way,
even
they're
mean?
unavoidable. It doesn't matter how hard you try. Unless you get lucky 10% of the time, they'll teleport to you and take a hit. Now, normally in a video game, this wouldn't be a problem. But
Like-
for a majority of the time in this game, you can't replenish your hearts. And you
Bro,
only have 4.
Yeah. This was a problem with all games back then, but like trying to get the player to do the right thing in this game in particular just seems so unintuitive. I guess it was the 80s, like games hadn't really like established a good basis yet on how to do that. But god, dude, this looks like a nightmare to try to attempt to figure
Which is
out what
not
to
a
do.
lot, trust me. It's like the Yakuza are just a tax, a toll. Every time you pass one, they take a part of you with them. The more you play the game, the
At
more
least in
you
these
run the
like
meter.
somewhat
Better
open
use your
games,
time
like, it's
wisely.
like it's a
This
game
is
where
an
you just try and do
allegory. It's
anything
just
in
an
any order,
allegory of our
right?
inevitable demise. I'm slowly dying. I'm slowly dying just like him. Each obstacle makes an etching in my soul.
Now this may seem very cryptic and convoluted, but that's because you haven't heard the next part. You're then supposed to go to the pachinko parlor and buy 500 balls and lose them. Sir, you don't have enough balls. Okay, first off, rude. But secondly, yes, I
True.
fucking do.
Look
Because
at
they
those
won't go
big
down.
balls.
I keep winning balls. Yeah, the one time I want to lose at gambling, and I can't do it if I tried. I don't know for sure what hell looks like, but I think it might be a bit like Takeshi's challenge.
This is ridiculous.
Shut up, you dick!
You're supposed to yell into the microphone on the second controller.
What in the Kojima is this, bro? You have to shout into the mic in the second controller, bro. That is some Psycho Mantis bullshit, bro. Dude.
A bunch of Yakuza toughs fill into the parlor, and to beat this part, you have to knock out at least
It's
one
so
of them,
Metal
which is really
Gear.
hard because they all three pummel onto you really quickly, and you die in seconds. Oh, and did I mention? Anytime you die in this game, you have to go to the beginning. And that means doing every single minute step all over again.
What?
And by the time
There's
you
no
beat this
saving?
game, you can write a strategy guide on it, because you know it front to back.
Damn.
After you scare off the Yakuza from the parlor, the owner gives you a bunch of balls, which you use to buy a shamisen. What even is that?
Sure.
Okay, it's that. That's what it is. I get okay.
Oh,
I guess
okay.
I'm familiar. I just didn't know the name. Now we're off to the karaoke bar to sing the same song 3 times in a row because Takeshi Kitano is an insane person. You actually have to sing into the microphone on the second controller, which is pretty innovative for its time. But
Why do you
it's
have to do-
incredibly difficult and precise.
Why do you have to do it in the second controller, not the first one?
Once you've completed the songs, guess what happens? Guess what? A bunch of Yakuza storm into the bar, and you have to beat the shit out of all of them again, on the same hearts. Then, just in the nick of time, an old man comes in and gives you a map. And then you beat the shit out of him. It's not even an option. You have to do that. But when you look at the
Why?
map, of course, it's blank. To reveal it, you have to let it soak in water and wait 5 minutes, but not more than 10, and then cry into the microphone, or bathe it in sunlight and let the controller sit for an hour. Arbitrary wait times. What do you know? It's an early MMO. Now that we've got our treasure map, I say it's off to the South Pacific.
Damn, bro.
No, seriously, you head to the airport and board
What
a plane
the-
for the South Pacific.
What?
You know, this only just dawned on me
What
right
in the
now.
fever
but you
dream
realize
is
this?
this?
Is a Nintendo game in which you quit your job, divorce your wife, and go treasure hunting. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100, best game, best game.
When you get there, you get a gun. Well, getting the gun is
Hell
kinda
yeah,
cool,
brother.
I guess. It actually works. It's not just a bait and switch. Only now can you sleep at the hotel and regain your hearts. Oh my god, it's beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. You know, for such a bad game, when I saw those 7 hearts, I was
Finally
happy,
did it.
because it just shows that life's all about perspective. Okay, this next part, I can't even stress enough.
This is one of the hardest parts in any video game I've ever played.
You have one shot at this flying segment where you have to shoot a revolver abreast a hang glider at giant dive bombing pigeons and UFOs. If you get hit once, you're dead.
Game over. And you know what that means?
Divorce your wife, sing the karaoke, question if it's ethical to eat Mormons, do the whole thing over again just to have another go at this hang gliding segment. It
Dude.
can take you 20, 30 times before
That
you get this.
seems
And it
so
wouldn't even be so bad if you
awful.
could fully control the hang glider. But once you drop altitude, the only way you can go back up is to hit one of these gusts of wind, which you can accidentally shoot and destroy.
Never in my life have I said, God damn it, I shot the wind again, and meant it. And meant that.
Can you even fathom how hard this is?
Dude,
Was
that
a
seems-
human
this-
actually intended to be able to overcome this? After a while, it breaks you down. It
This
the only thing that
seems
keeps you going is the thought
so
of what's coming next,
awful.
the thought of winning. You can't let him beat you. It was designed to beat you. And you want to know how hard this game is? I started this review in 2012. Come on, I have to do this. I can't stop until I do this. Please. Oh,
Dude, this actually seems
oh my God, I made it! I did it! I got there. I got to the island.
like the
I'm
most
finally here.
torturous thing to
I'm
try
in the
and
treasure
do.
cave. This is the final stretch. Of course, they wouldn't give you a break either. There's literally enemies oozing from every crack of this cave. Talk about having some PTSD or looking at this while having flashbacks, having to do the goddamn fucking pigeon section again. It's a non-stop barrage of
Yeah,
scorpions,
once you've
amoebas,
done the
pirates,
flying section
skeletons,
and you
flame
die
balls.
here, bro,
I swear to
that
God,
seems
I
like it
don't
would be
even
the
think you
most
could beat
awful
this
thing
segment if there
ever.
wasn't a built-in exploit to the game, which is if you pause the game and unpause it, all the enemies reset. And then, finally,
You can just
just
keep
out of the
pausing
corner
to
of your eye. Not everyone
reset
is
the
created
enemies.
equal.
That's so
Not in
funny.
a racist way. I'm
That's
talking more about willpower.
That's a
Sorry if you thought
classic.
that was
That's a
racist or
classic video
sexist
game
comment. Some are
trope.
quicker to make an excuse than a commitment. But we live in a world where if you don't decide to be the very best, someone will step up and be happy to take your place. Today we've scaled a new peak, and you know what? View's pretty good from up here. Takeshi, I beat your challenge.
Hell yeah,
To the
brother.
victor go the spoils. What do I win? That's it?
You don't even know what the treasure is?
It's amazing, and it's just his face in the corner. 50-year-old itch.
Dude, this is psycho behavior trying to get this done.
私はずっとあなたの大ファンです。バトルロワイヤルのあなたが本当に好きです。日本は現代ゲームの誕生の地です。なぜたけしの挑戦状を作ったのですか？なぜ私たちに対してこんなことをするのですか？私のことが嫌いなの
Me
です
when I
か？
become
誰かにやらさ
VTuber?
れたのですか？この封筒には封筒と便箋が同封されていますから、これを使って謝罪文を返信してくれても構いません。私は本気です。真面目にこの手紙をあなたに送ります。この手紙は水書箱宛てです。どうか返信をください。これはショーの一部ではありません。この撮影が終わったら本当に送付しに行きます。
Send the guy a letter, bro.
Toxic bad game, 2 out of 10. Thanks for watching. If you want to stay up to date on JonTron, like my Facebook and follow me on Twitter. I promise.
Dude, follow him on Twitter, bro. Bro, he had 160k followers in 2014. I thought this was going to be about the TV series, but I guess it was a completely different game. Turned out to be one of the most stupidest games I've ever seen. It looks like most early Nintendo NES games were kind of just RPGs that were just like nonsensical. But if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if there's any other videos you want me to see in the comments below, and we'll check them out. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.